Deep within the forgotten corners of the galaxy, there exists a tale of power, darkness, and a species long lost to time. A species whose very existence was tied to the dark side in ways that few could ever imagine. Their name, forgotten. Their legacy, shrouded in secrecy. Thousands of years ago, the galaxy knew of an ancient world, one bathed in the dark side of the Force. A world whose desolation mirrored the twisted legacy it would leave behind. Few dared to venture into this forsaken land, and even fewer came back unchanged. It was here on this cursed world that the darkness took shape in its purest form. Not just a philosophy, but a people. Their connection to the dark side was not a learned skill, but a natural, intrinsic part of their very being. They were born of blood and stone, marked by an uncanny affinity for the darkness, their bodies carved with strange features that echoed the very power they wielded. Their eyes burned with a ferocity that no Jedi had ever seen, and their influence over the Force was unlike any the galaxy had ever known. Masters of forbidden rituals, wielders of dark side sorcery, they would become the architects of an empire. But not just any empire. A dark, all-consuming force. One that would challenge the very foundations of the Republic. They called it the Sith Empire. For centuries, they ruled with an iron fist, their power and influence spreading across the galaxy. They were a people of conquest, war, and ritual. Their battles were brutal, their intentions ruthless. They were the first to call themselves the Sith, and their blood ran deep with darkness. But who were they really? What became of this terrifying species so tied to the dark side that their very presence threatened to consume all who crossed their path? And how did they vanish, leaving only whispers behind? These were the Sith Purebloods, the true origin of the Sith. Born on the desolate world of Korriban, these ancient beings were not merely followers of the dark side. They were its masters. With red skin and bone spurs, they were a race forged by the darkness itself, wielding power beyond imagination. Their bodies were not merely vessels, they were weapons. Their mastery of Sith alchemy, dark side magic, and forbidden rituals made them nearly unstoppable. From the very moment they first discovered the power of the dark side, they forged a path of destruction that would echo through the galaxy for millennia. Driven by an insatiable thirst for power, the Sith Purebloods developed dark arts that allowed them to manipulate life, death, and the very essence of the Force. But this wasn't just about power. It was about legacy. Their connection to the dark side was not something they could merely control. It was a part of their identity, and they would stop at nothing to see their dominion expand. These ruthless warriors established the Sith Empire, a reign of terror and dark power that sought to bring the galaxy to its knees. But as with all things born of the dark side, their fate was sealed by their own ambition. In the end, the Sith Empire fell, but not without leaving behind a legacy of darkness that would resurface centuries later. The Sith Purebloods, though their species faded into obscurity, laid the groundwork for the Sith that would come after them. Their knowledge of the dark side, their rituals, and their thirst for domination passed into the hands of their successors, Sith Lords like Darth Bane, Darth Sidious, and Darth Vader. Though their bloodline may be lost, their legacy endures. The Sith Purebloods were not just the first, they were the true embodiment of the dark side.
And in the shadows, they still whisper.